Stop ignoring red flags. One of the most expensive mistakes people make in life is ignoring what they can already see. They see the warning signs. They notice the inconsistencies. They feel that something is not right. Yet they continue moving forward as if the evidence does not exist. Whether it is in relationships, friendships, business partnerships, or everyday situations, people often ignore red flags because they are emotionally attached to an outcome. They want something to work so badly that they stop paying attention to reality. The truth is simple. Red flags exist for a reason. They are not there to make you fearful. They are there to make you aware. They are signals that deserve attention. The problem is that many people do not lose because they failed to see the warning signs. They lose because they saw the warning signs and convinced themselves they were not important. That decision often leads to stress, disappointment, wasted time, and unnecessary pain. The first step in protecting yourself is understanding what a red flag actually is. A red flag is a repeated behavior, pattern, or situation that signals a potential problem. It is not a single bad day. It is not a single mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has difficult moments. What matters is the pattern. Patterns reveal character. Patterns reveal intentions. Patterns reveal priorities. A person can say the right things for weeks or months. Eventually, their actions begin to tell the truth. That is why learning to recognize patterns is one of the most important skills you can develop. The first red flag many people ignore is inconsistency. Someone tells you one thing and does another. One day they are fully invested. The next day they disappear. One week they show interest. The next week they act distant. Consistency creates trust. Inconsistency creates confusion. Many people spend enormous amounts of energy trying to understand inconsistent behavior. Instead of asking why someone is inconsistent, pay attention to the fact that they are. People reveal themselves through repeated actions. A practical step you can take is to stop focusing on isolated moments and start looking at long-term behavior. What happens consistently? What pattern keeps repeating? The answer often tells you everything you need to know. The second red flag is a lack of accountability. Pay attention to people who are never responsible for anything. Every problem is someone else's fault. Every failure has an excuse. Every conflict has a different person to blame. Accountability is one of the strongest signs of maturity. Strong people accept responsibility. Weak people avoid it. When someone refuses to take ownership of their actions, improvement becomes almost impossible. Growth begins where accountability begins. If you want healthier relationships and better decisions, pay close attention to how people handle mistakes. Do they learn? Do they adjust? Do they take responsibility? Or do they always point fingers elsewhere? The third red flag is disrespect disguised as honesty. Many people use the phrase, "I'm just being honest," as an excuse for poor behavior. Real honesty does not require cruelty. Real honesty does not require disrespect. Respectful people communicate clearly without attacking others. Pay attention to how people treat you during disagreements. Anyone can be kind when things are going well. Character is revealed during conflict. One practical step is setting clear boundaries. Teach people how to treat you by what you allow and what you refuse to tolerate. Boundaries are not about controlling others. They are about protecting your peace. The fourth red flag is manipulation. Manipulation often appears in subtle forms. Guilt, pressure, mixed signals, emotional games, attempts to control your decisions. Manipulative people rarely communicate directly. They create confusion because confusion gives them control. Healthy people communicate openly. Manipulative people create uncertainty. If you constantly feel confused around someone, pay attention. Clarity is often a sign of honesty. Confusion is often a sign that something deserves closer examination. One practical way to protect yourself is to trust your observations more than your hopes. What are they actually doing? Not what are they promising? Not what are they saying? What are they consistently doing? The fifth red flag is a lack of respect for boundaries. Healthy people understand limits. Unhealthy people often view boundaries as obstacles. Pay attention to people who become angry when you say no. Pay attention to people who constantly push limits. Pay attention to people who expect access to your time, attention, and energy without respecting your needs. Respect is revealed through behavior. People who genuinely care about you respect your boundaries. People who only care about what they can get from you often resist them. The sixth red flag is constant drama. Some people seem to carry chaos wherever they go. There is always a conflict, always a problem, always a crisis, always an argument. Life naturally includes challenges, but there is a difference between occasional problems and a consistent pattern of chaos. People who thrive on drama often create it. They become uncomfortable with peace because they are accustomed to conflict. One practical step is asking yourself a simple question. Does this person bring peace into my life or confusion into my life? The answer matters more than most people realize. The seventh red flag is dishonesty. Trust is the foundation of every meaningful relationship. Without trust, everything becomes unstable. Dishonesty rarely starts with major lies. It often begins with small ones. Half-truths, avoidance, hidden information, contradicting stories. Many people ignore small signs because they hope things will improve. The reality is that honesty is usually a habit. So is dishonesty. Pay attention to both. The eighth red flag is a lack of effort. People make time for what matters to them. People invest energy into what they value. Many people spend months making excuses for behavior that already provides clear answers. Effort does not guarantee success, but the absence of effort often reveals priorities. Look at actions. Look at consistency. Look at investment. Those things reveal value more clearly than words ever will. The ninth red flag is ignoring your intuition. Your intuition is not magic. It is your mind processing information that you may not have consciously organized yet. Many people feel that something is wrong long before they can explain why. Then they spend months convincing themselves to ignore that feeling. Intuition should not replace logic, but intuition should not be ignored either. When your observations, emotions, and instincts repeatedly point in the same direction, it is worth paying attention. One practical habit is slowing down your decision-making. Do not rush important choices. Give yourself space to observe. Give yourself space to think. Time often reveals what emotions try to hide. The 10th red flag is believing potential over reality. This may be the biggest mistake of all. Many people fall in love with potential. Potential partner, potential friend, potential business opportunity, potential future. The problem is that potential is not reality. You must make decisions based on what exists today, not based on what someone might become someday, not based on what you hope will happen. Reality deserves more attention than possibility. Strong people accept what is. They do not build their lives around fantasies. They build their lives around facts. The truth is that red flags are rarely hidden. Most of the time, they are visible. The challenge is having the discipline to acknowledge them. People often see exactly what they need to see. They simply choose not to act. That choice usually becomes expensive. It costs time. It costs energy. It costs peace. Sometimes it costs years. The goal is not to become cynical. The goal is not to distrust everyone. The goal is to become aware. Awareness protects you. Awareness saves time. Awareness helps you make better decisions. When you learn to recognize patterns, respect your intuition, and trust actions over words, your life begins to change. You stop chasing confusion. You stop making excuses for behavior that repeatedly hurts you. You stop wasting energy trying to force situations that clearly are not working. Instead, you become more selective, more disciplined, more self-respecting. You begin choosing peace over chaos, clarity over confusion, reality over fantasy. Remember this. The people who protect their future are not the people who never encounter red flags. They are the people who stop ignoring them. Pay attention. Trust patterns. Trust actions. Trust consistency. And most importantly, trust yourself enough to walk away when reality shows you something your emotions do not want to accept. Because one of the most powerful decisions you can make is refusing to ignore what is already right in front of you.